Congratulations on the purchase of your new BACTRON. Now that you've received your BACTRON, it's time to unbox it. Begin by unscrewing the walls and ceiling of the wooden shipping crate. Alright, let's take a look at our accessories. First, we take out the LED light bar. And its power cord. Next, we have our left and right arm port doors. Followed by the main accessory box. This has our manual, sleeve assembly, leveling feet and unit power cord, shelf spacers, foot pedal, catalytic cartridges, petri dish holders, and regulator assembly. The regulator assembly includes the forked hose connection, the regulator itself, tubing, and the pressure adjustment valve handle. Once our accessories are in order, we can remove the rest of the wrapping and there's our BACTRON. Now that we've got the unit unboxed, let's get it ready to operate. Start by plugging the power cord into the wall, and then into the unit itself. This is the plug connected to the foot pedal. It uses a locking ring mechanism and is plugged into this port. Before plugging the foot pedal in, you will need to rotate the outer ring so that the tab on the inside of it lines up with the channel on the inner plug. It will not fit into the inlet otherwise. Once you've seated the plug in the inlet, rotate the outer ring to the right to lock it into place. Now we need to set up our regulator. Attach the regulator to your AMG tank and then use a wrench to tighten it. Regulators with a notch on the edge of the nut, like this one, go opposite the usual tightening-loosening scheme. You'll want to turn this one to the left to tighten, and to the right to loosen. Then we attach the T-junction hoses to the BACTRON itself. Now we attach the AMG hose, which can be either black or white. Open up the main valve on the gas tank. Rotate the handle on the gas regulator to the right in order to slowly increase the pressure to 50 psi. Start by gently screwing in the manometer attachment tube. It is possible to break this component if you over-tighten it. Next, pour water into the top of the manometer until the level is between the red and black lines. Then place a beaker or flask below the white hose to collect any condensed water that may drip out during operation. The controls of the BACTRON are laid out on the control panel in the same arrangement that the relevant components are arranged in the BACTRON itself. Here we have the power on-off switch and the low AMG supply light. Below that are the Airlock controls, which consist of the Airlock vacuum gauge, the auto cycle, and Airlock indicator light. These are the controls for the incubator in the back of the unit. You can raise, lower, and calibrate the temperature with these controls. It also houses the heat-activated and over-temperature-activated indicator lights. The workspace panel has indicator lights for both commissioning and AMG injection. The sleeve control panel features the sleeve pressure gauge and the sleeve cycle in progress indicator light. The sleeve cycle itself is operated with a foot pedal. Lifting the side panel on the left reveals the secondary control array. Here we have controls for alarm volume, over temperature limit, airlock cycles, and commission cycles. Above that is our PLC, the brains of the unit. The status lights can be useful for systems diagnostics, but you won't need to plug anything into the serial or USB ports. Let's get our controls up and running. Start by hitting the main power switch. Now you can adjust the temperature set point to suit the needs of your samples. You can raise and lower the temperature of the incubator with the up and down arrows. Next, we'll want to calibrate the airlock pressure gauge. Do this by holding the two gray buttons until 4 zeros flash across the screen. Then repeat the process for the sleeve pressure gauge. You can use a coin to adjust the over temperature limiter. We suggest turning it all the way to the right until the incubator reaches the desired set point, and then setting the over temperature protection to your desired level. You want to stage some anaerobic strips in the unit at this time, as it's much faster than getting them in through the sleeves or pass box. Reach in through the arm port doors and open the doors on the incubator. Move the arm port doors into the chamber by way of the pass box. Close the right arm port door and then install your catalytic cartridge. Once the doors are sealed, it's time to open the sleeve assembly and install the sleeves. Stretch the sleeve over the aperture of the arm port, and then secure it with a self-adhering strap. To begin the commission auto cycle, hit the switch on the secondary control panel and the commission in progress light will activate. If you need to cancel the auto cycle, you can hold the same switch down until the unit alarms. Start by pulling your left arm through the sleeve and then pulling the right hand sleeve like this. Tap the foot pedal once, and the sleeve cycle will begin. Wait until the cycle completes, and then you are free to enter the chamber. Keep your movements while in the chamber slow and steady. Rapid or excessive movement will force additional gas out of the manometer, resulting in excessive A&G consumption. Once you are inside, open an anaerobic indicator strip. If it stays white, the chamber is anaerobic. If it turns pink, however, it means the chamber is still aerobic and troubleshooting may be required. Once our chamber is anaerobic, we will need to get the samples inside. Start by opening the outer passbox door and placing your sample on the transfer tray. Depending on the needs of your operation, you can set the passbox to perform between 3 and 5 auto cycles. You can also manually gas or vacuum the airlock as needed. Start the auto cycle and wait for it to complete the number of passes you set it to. Once the airlock is anaerobic, the inner passbox door will unlock and you can retrieve your samples. Place your sample in the incubator if necessary, and then close the doors to help maintain a uniform temperature.